Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the F125 My Team series. We're getting to the last couple races of the season, and we are here in Qatar with a sprint race. So one sprint race, one Grand Prix, full Grand Prix weekend left for the season. Let me rephrase that. One sprint weekend, one regular Grand Prix weekend as we go to Abu Dhabi next. But yeah, it's been a couple of weeks since I last actually drove and recorded. The Las Vegas episode is actually being uploaded as I'm recording it now. So usually I was a few races ahead. Now it's kind of popped up to being pretty much, well, I got to get some races in the can here, don't I? Okay, we're down to our last couple unused portions of power units. So let's go ahead and, well, let's make use of them. Control electronics, that's fine. We'll keep a totally fresh one for the next race, but there we go. Results-wise, where are we at? We are comfortably P8. I think it would take quite a bit for us to get anywhere lower than P8 as the driver. As a team, only a 20-point gap, though, so can be made up by Williams there. And, of course, we had a decent timeout in Vegas, a top 5. Would be our fourth top 5 of the season, as we had a top 5 in Monaco, Austria. Our only podium happened in the Netherlands, and we are on our way to Qatar here. Championship-wise, what do we got? We got Verstappen leading the way by 40 some odd points, just 39 points. So not out of the realm of possibility, but it would take quite a bit of doing for Leclerc. But let's jump in. Stop at the waffle, and let's get to the racing into sprint qualifying.
It's all about flow and pace today, qualifying in Qatar. A high-speed test that will set the grid for tomorrow's race. So welcome along.
Alright, here we go, as usual, on a set of the medium tires, because we only get the one set of softs for sprint qualifying. So let's get a banker in and see what we can do around the Qatar circuit. And a broken DRS. Immediately. Tried to open it, DRS is closed, so that's not going to help. A pretty fast and flowing circuit. Definitely going to be one that's tricky to overtake around. A lot of mid and high-speed corners. Really only one big slow corner, and that's this hairpin here. So not a big overtake on the brakes kind of circuit. It's going to be really more about getting deep into the slipstream and trying to stay connected to the car in front. There's only the one DRS zone, fortunately, so it's not a huge time loss around the lap. But it is down the pit straight, and it is a pretty significant portion of the circuit there. A couple more quick flicks into corners. This long, kind of awkward and very bumpy on the exit right-hander. So you can see the time we lost to the Red Bull behind. 22.9 is not awful, but you can see compared to the 19.8 that cars with DRS and soft tires are doing, it's quite a drop. But let's see if we can't get this DRS repaired before our next run. Alright, here we go. Getting ready for the final lap. Rather unsurprisingly, with the busted DRS and the medium tires on the first run, we are provisionally starting P22, but we are now on soft tires. It looks like we might have, in fact, a DRS rear wing that opens up. Fantastic. Let's see if we can't get somewhere up the field a little bit. Very quiet lap, not a lot of talking, just wanted to get around it. Used basically all of our deployment. Let's see where we went. P9 got into the top 10. That's big. That is a big performance with just the one qualifying run.
And that's it for sprint qualifying. Plenty more coming up over the rest of the weekend. So we'll see you all tomorrow.
5-place penalty for Lando Norris coming up as well. Joshua Pierce, P11, just about 4/10 off of me there. So pretty good for the team overall.
Welcome to today's sprint. This is shaping up to be another fantastic weekend. We're back here in Losail for a track that's 3.34 miles long. There are 16 turns around its unique three-pronged shape and just a single DRS zone out of turn 16. It's fast and it's flowing, and there's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS down the long straight and into turn 1. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting sprint. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Yuki Tsunoda completes the front row. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Fernando Alonso, and Russell. Antonelli, Martins, Piastri, Pierce, Gasly, Albon, Lando Norris, and Sainz. Doohan, Stroll, Esteban Ocon, and Liam Lawson. Hadja, Hulkenberg, Bortoletto, and Ollie Behrman rounds off the grid. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And alongside me, a man, well, what more can I say? But he's a legend, Anthony Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. So we come to Qatar this weekend, and what's the word I'm looking for when I think about the middle part of this track? Relentless.
The whole track's relentless. It's predominantly built to be a motorbike circuit. For an F1 car, that means a lot of G-force. It's hot here, it's humid this time of the year that we come to in Formula One, and this puts pressure on the drivers. It also puts pressure on the car and the demands of the tyres. So it's a brutal circuit.
Okay, let's see if we can keep this momentum up. Let's get another points finish.
Interesting. It wants us to go with the soft tire? Really? Okay. Sure. I guess we're going soft tire. Bit of wheel spin at the start there, but we got an okay launch. Tires are a bit on the colder side, so we're not quite launching it. Going to be all about keeping the tires alive in this sprint, I think. I'm not sure how the soft tires are expected to last, but it's what everybody's on. Realistically, defending the inside, not particularly necessary on this track. The outside is decent in turn 1 because it turns to the inside for turn 2. But man, what is the grip level that they've got on me? Okay, can we push and get into DRS? The answer is not quite. Oh no, we did. Okay. Need to try and find some spots to regain some battery here. A lot of work to get that move done. Does put clean air on our nose, which is nice. We've been in dirty air for a while. But I think we're pretty much going to get eaten alive on the main straight. Because they're able to just get off the corner really well compared to us. Okay, so we learned something. If it's going to be better, unless you know you can break away, to just stay in the train. Otherwise, you're probably going to lose multiple spots. Because now we're down position to both Antonelli and Alonso. Oh yeah, that was a serious temperature spike on the surface there.
Here's some information on Russell for you. Okay, they're out of this race.
Bummer for George there. So after dropping back into the train, we've just kind of settled in. I think it's going to be something important to learn for the Grand Prix is just stay tucked in unless you feel you can really clear the entire train and get out of DRS. Otherwise, next time down the DRS zone, you will get eaten up by multiple cars. Fuel estimation looks to be pretty on the money for the Grand Prix, so that's good. Tire wear about 50% on that front left in 10 laps, so about 5% per lap on those. Well, we are able to get out of the final corner safely and across the line for a couple of points in the sprint event.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
So with the sprint concluded, join us next time for qualifying and of course the main event, this weekend's Formula One Grand Prix. We'll see you next time.
Pierce just outside the points, but that's fine by me. He's in good position for the Grand Prix, I think.
It's all about flow and pace today, qualifying in Qatar. A high-speed test that will set the grid for tomorrow's race. So welcome along.
So here we are back on the track again, this time Grand Prix qualifying. And we get to start right away on the soft tires. No different tire shenanigans to be done. Let's see if we can set a solid banker for ourselves here. Not the greatest last corner. But let's just go ahead and full send it. Okay, don't take that extra downshift there. Good enough. A little deep on the hairpin there. Didn't quite get the car rotated for the exit. Definitely some opportunities to clean up around this lap, but not terrible. 21.3 is not that bad. Can definitely go quicker. Here we go, getting set up for run 2 on the used set of tires. There's definitely some corners that could use some improvement, and also, of course, the start. Let's see if we can get a better launch down the pit straight here. Looks decent. And yeah, we are gaining a little bit of time. Not much though. A little better run through those couple of corners. Definitely saved us some time. Couple of tenths up here. Car feels very unhappy through those corners. Decent exit. We do find about 2/10 on the lap there. It's not bad. Have to see what the fresh tires do at the end. Here we go, ready for our final run of qualifying. Sitting provisional P12 at the moment. Fresh tires on for our final full send lap here. We rumble down the bumpy main straight on our way down to turn 1. Ooh, a bit wide there. That's going to cost a little bit of time. But we have the extra grip to kind of make up for it. Understeer at the apex cost us a little bit of time there. Pretty good run through there. Looks like we're on track to find about another 2/10. Do need a good run through the sweepers though. This really upset the car last time through here. Much smoother it seems. Not sure what was causing the car to bounce through those sweepers on our second run. We lost a little bit of time in the final corner. We are going to find about a quarter second this time. Does that get us inside the top 10? Just one extra place up, 11th. I didn't see where we fell on the over the course of the lap, though. Looks like if we hadn't improved, we still would have been probably P12, P13. Oh, Joshua, that's a rough result. After such good qualifying and race performance in the sprint, that's tough for him.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once more to the Middle East for what could be a very tricky night for our drivers tonight. Sandy, dusty, and with the sun setting, the temperature dropping too. This could be an intriguing event. Stand by for the Qatar Grand Prix. So we're back here in Losail, and this is the track map. 3.34 miles, 16 turns, and just one DRS zone out of turn 16. It's already a fast and flowing track after all. There's a good overtaking opportunity with DRS, though, through the long straight and into turn 1. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Charles Leclerc lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Tsunoda, Hamilton, Lando Norris, and Antonelli, Albon, Piastri, Martins, and Fernando Alonso, Doohan, Gasly, Liam Lawson, and Pierce, Sainz, Hülkenberg, Isaac Hadjar, and Gabriel Bortoleto, Ocon, Stroll, Russell, and Ollie Behrman rounds off the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track. Well, it's been a long time since I last worked with you. Good to see you again today, Anthony Davidson. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was, They start at 0 once again for today, but with a huge amount of confidence, surely. Well, they'll definitely be glad that there's not a sprint race today. Let's face it, the sprint couldn't have gone much worse, but what we're looking for today is a reaction. So we come to Qatar this weekend, and what's the word I'm looking for when I think about the middle part of this track? Relentless.
The whole track's relentless. It's predominantly built to be a motorbike circuit. For an F1 car, that means a lot of G-force. It's hot here, it's humid this time of the year that we come to in Formula One, and this puts pressure on the drivers. It also puts pressure on the car and the demands of the tyres. So it's a brutal circuit.
Okay, Mark here. Let's get another points finish today. I just want to say good luck. We're all counting on you.
No pressure at all. All right, what do we got? Looks like it's going to be a one-stop, medium to hard. 29 laps, so 1.78 times 29 is 51.6. Fuel? I guess the question is, do we do the reverse stratagem? I think being attached to the DRS train is going to be pretty important. So let's just go ahead and go with the regular strat. So it looks like there was a lot of grid penalties from the penultimate race. Got us an extra starting position here. We got to move on. Bit of fighting with Piastri. He's on the soft tires, interestingly enough. It's going to be very important here to find the rhythm early. We've only done qualifying and then, you know, the sprint race where you're carrying half as much fuel. So we've really got to get into the feeling of how to handle all the extra fuel mass pretty early while maintaining connection to the cars ahead, because it looks like Antonelli is quite interested in putting pressure on us already. Decent run off the final corner should give us a little bit of breathing space on the way into turn one. No DRS this lap, won't be till next lap. Here comes Antonelli. Another thing we're definitely going to have to keep an eye out on in this race, we did get, 2 of 3 allowed track limits warnings in the sprint, which was only 10 laps, and we're doing, 3 times as far. So we are going to have to be very careful about our track limits in this one as well. Decent straight line speed from the Mercedes. Norris has already totally lost touch with the car ahead. So I think this is going to be kind of our race, is for the P5, and as I mentioned literally one lap ago about track limits, there we go on our first warning. Just bit of a chundersteery run off the exit. Now, based on what I learned in the sprint, if I get too close to Norris and try and go for an actual overtake on him, odds are I'm not chasing down the Hamilton group. They're much quicker than I am. And then I'll just be at the mercy of DRS on the very next lap. So I think realistically the idea here is settle to a decent distance after the, before the last couple of corners so that I can have DRS, but not be in a position where I kind of need to like force an overtake on Norris. Come on, just a couple more laps. Couple more laps left front. You can do it. Uh-oh. That's going to be a run for the Mercedes. Box him in. Cover him off. Eyes back ahead on the car in front. Decent pit entry. Need a good stop from the boys. All right, now we just got to get the tires up to temperature here. And maybe even turn a good lap so we can get a distance from the Mercedes of Antonelli. These hard tires feel very skatey at the moment. It's already on the move. That's 2. I'm really struggling on the hard tire here. Hard tire just does not feel very grippy. I've lost touch with Norris here. I've lost the DRS. I have no more rewinds. I have no more track limits to give away. Come on, don't go side by side. I'm trying to let you by. Fucking go. So much time lost just because you were not decisive. And I had to slow down in such a horrible spot, too. Like 3 seconds or 2 seconds lost because of it? That's huge. I really struggled to rotate there. You know, we're hitting a spot where the tire wear is starting to get too much. And there's the 3-second penalty. And, oh, and the spin. Oh, it is all falling apart. Dang it. Okay, settle back in. Let's get the tires cooled back down. We'll have about 2.5 second margin to the car behind. To maintain this position. Oh, come on, car, turn! Where is the grip? Okay, it's going to be 2 seconds at the line, I think. Maybe even a little bit less. Because now I'm super gun shy. Eco is out. We do at least have clean air on the nose. And a fresh set of track limits to abuse. Why do I feel like hot lap mode is not actually spending energy the way it should be? What's the margin going to be with 1 lap left? Will be 1.45. Be about 1.5. Six. I think with that, Verstappen locks in the championship. .3. We'll drop back. We should have full second in hand on him. For P7 finish, not terrible. Could have gone better, but could have gone a lot worse. Whew. George Russell charged through the field after his grid.
Well, it's certainly been an incredible year for Formula One,
drop.
and our drivers have all pushed themselves this season, making it one of the most compelling years of racing in history. There can only be one champion, however, and here they are now, our new Formula One World Drivers' Champion. The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again because it's victory for Max Verstappen.
Well, another race victory today, and you can clearly see they're starting to believe in themselves more and more. You get to a stage, Crofty, where you become very hard to beat as a driver when you keep putting in performances like this one.
It's what every driver imagines when they start out on their long road towards Formula One. And for our lucky three today, here's the podium waiting for them. And for those that have missed the Dutch national anthem, fear not. It's back again because Max Verstappen is back on the top step. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
A solid 8 points on the weekend grabbed. P7 finish. Where did Joshua? He climbed 1 spot up to P13. So yeah, we did finish just about 1.2 seconds ahead of Oscar Piastri, who really didn't have a whole lot of pace in hand. Leclerc was fighting with Verstappen all the way to the end, so good for him. What are the overall standings? So Verstappen is locked in the Drivers' Championship completely now. I think Leclerc and Hamilton are locked in, as is Norris. I think there's not really anything up for grabs until the P9, P10 fight between Antonelli and Carlos Sainz. Constructors-wise, mathematically, technically, Red Bull could still win the Constructors, but it would be unlikely. McLaren is well locked in, so is Mercedes. We are still, we're basically locked in over Williams. They're not going to score a race victory, I don't think. But let's actually save the full race replay. That's important. There we go. And head on back to our, what's the word I'm looking for? Factory. Yeah, factory. Ooh, intensity increased. Yeah, we're not going to get to 163 points. We increased the intensity, but it's mathematically impossible with one race left. Whatever. Fan rating. Oh, come on, tell me. Did we get number 4? Surely we got 4. Title sponsor loyalty's up. That's good.
Hey, boss, what do you make of this?
I don't know. What do I make of this? Personnel facility. Staff morale. Yeah, let's figure it out. No time to really do much of anything. Let's do fan outreach. Messages. What do we got? Yeah. Title sponsor loyalty. Sure. How are we on our... We don't need to do any more research. We need full development. That's right. Development is where all the... Ooh, we are going to lose a fair bit of stuff, I think. It happens. We're not going to be able to save all of our parts. Oh well. We have to do some redevelopment at the start of the year. We've banked up quite a bit of resource points, so we should be okay. Component management. Let's see, Joshua, you are... Yeah, we'll just throw that one on. That's fine. That's better. 61, 86, 62. Yeah, let's go back to this turbocharger. Don't want to send him another grid penalty. Yeah. It's not terrible. But it could be better. What else we got? Title sponsor. Oh, got a new decal design. Almost to some extra weekly income. So let's advance ourselves here, huh?
Hey, Chief. We've got multiple parts out of research. Don't forget to develop them. We've got performance sitting on the table that we could be getting into the car.
We've hit fan rating 4, which is stellar. And let's just get this next adaptation going. I don't know that it's going to help us all that much. Get both of those going as well. So we're going to lose what? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3. I guess it's not that bad overall. It's not great, but it's not that bad. Sure. Let's go ahead and do the last fan. I think we got some more spots, so let's take a look at the car. Be right back. Okay, so some small changes on there. We have, well, one big one is we have the top of the side pod. Luna Lugna, Lugna, I don't know, sponsor, so it brings a little color to the top. A new nose slot, so we've put the A and F on the front there. What else we got? Inside the halo, we gained an additional spot, which, there's the zoom. So instead of having just the one logo in the middle of the halo, we now have two on the blue stripes. We have, if I can get a good rotation, you can see on top of the rear wing, we've got two new slots, so we've mirrored this monomic there. And then on the underside of the rear wing, we've gained only one extra slot, so we're running the double of one just to keep symmetry. So there you go. There's the changes to the car ahead of the final race of the season. We'll do a whole revamp of the livery and everything at the start of next season. Should be cool. Bringing in good cash, though, is very, very important. But only one more race left until the season is over. Abu Dhabi, not one of my better tracks, I'll be honest. But we'll see how it goes. Thank y'all for joining me once again. I will catch you guys next time. Peace.